Hey, thanks for stopping by Mystic Messages. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Hope everyone's doing amazing. Just want to remind everyone that YouTube is currently the only platform that I'm using. If you happen to find these videos elsewhere, or if they're asking for donations, I ask that you please report them because I don't want to see anyone get scammed. All right, that being said, let's get to it. Keep in mind these messages are timeless and will be received in divine timing for those who need to hear them. Hopefully, they reach those that need it because it's a very important message today. Okay. This one specifically came to me last night in my dream state. It's very vivid, very important, and this message needs to get out. Okay, and basically, this message is about something confirming that you already knew. Now, it's going to be painful. Okay, for some of you, and for some of you, it's going to be an awakening. It is, I said, very specific, so I don't know exactly for how many people this is for, but the circumstances are very specific. Okay, this message is for individuals who are currently living under a family circumstance that's more like a clan. Okay, your family is very clannish, and they like to see themselves as a unified force. And there's usually one person at the head of this. A lot of times it's a mother or a father, the matriarch or patriarch, which controls everything. And basically, this is a form of narcissistic abuse in a way. Okay. It's not so much family tradition as it is maintaining control over a group of individuals in the family to make sure that the family bidding is done. Okay. Now, this is not knocking tradition in any way, but sometimes tradition can be misinterpreted. Okay. As tradition when it's not, when it's basically nothing but a form of control. And usually the family members are so involved in this that they're unaware that this is a form of narcissistic abuse. Okay. Now, why is this coming up? Okay, because just hang on with me here because this is all going to lead into the message that's coming through. Okay, because of this specific situation, okay, some of you have invited either close friends or family members into your home to live with you. Okay, because of this family dynamic, because you were expected to. Okay, unknowingly, you're in a situation with a spouse. Okay, that has been having secret relations with these individuals who are living in your home behind your back, and this is all being kept from you. Okay, now this is something you had an inkling of, okay, and it's going to be painful to hear this. You had an inkling, but this is your confirmation, okay. In the vision that I received last night, one of these people who is involved secretly with your spouse, okay, in an indiscreet way, is going to now come to you to reveal what they're doing to try to get on your good side before you realize and throw everyone out of the house. Okay. Now, this is something that probably goes against, like I said, your family values because this is family. And often, more times than not, the saying familiarity breeds contempt is spot on. Okay. This is what happens in these close knit family units. Now, for most of you, this is a karmic lesson that you needed to learn. Okay. Learning to feel independent, be yourself, stand on your own 2 feet, and learning to say no and stand up for yourself. There's only one individual here who is receiving karma for the things that they have done in this situation. Okay, that person has the initial J. It's somebody that I know personally, unfortunately. So this message is for you specifically. Okay, uh, this is what happens when the aforementioned person, who was a home wrecker, is now having the same thing done to them in return. Okay, but the exposure is coming out not just for J, but for everyone else's situation too. Okay, so this is an opportunity for the others who are just going through a karmic lesson as opposed to what Jay's going through, which is karmic retribution. Okay, for you to learn, okay, to move forward, to be strong, to separate yourself from this unhealthy family dynamic. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock family tradition in any way, and I know these things are very hard to get past. These deep types of families, they're mostly referred to as emotionally incestuous families, where the entire family is in your business. You're expected to supply for other family members' needs. Okay, and this creates problems where the family members who are always in need are refusing to do anything. Okay, because they know that there's always going to be help around the corner. In this case, many of you have offered these individuals who are living in your space, okay, work opportunities. You provided them shelter, food, okay. And for those of you who are dealing with this as a karmic lesson for your benefit, okay, will now realize that this is not the way life should be. You knew this was wrong. You had an idea that this was going on, and this is your opportunity now to make a difference for yourself. Now, again, this is only advice. I'm not suggesting anyone do anything. You do have to do what you feel is best for you. This is just giving you the confirmation that you needed to realize what was going on. But this is going behind your back, okay? And it's your spouse and two individuals from your family side involved with your spouse, okay? So all three of them have been in this, clandestine relationship. And uh, what they're showing me, I don't even want to repeat what they're showing me, but it's not pretty. Okay, it's not pretty. It's something that I would never go for, something I would never tolerate myself. But again, for those of you who are learning this as a karmic lesson, you could do with it as you want. There's only one person, like I said, who's receiving karmic retribution for the things that they've done. You know. So, like I said, again, this is just advice. Okay, I'm sorry that this is so painful for the rest of you who don't deserve this. Okay, but again, it needs to be brought out into the open. Okay, now whether you communicate this to your spouse and work it out peaceably, that's one way, and again, that's on you. Personally, I wouldn't, because once somebody does anything like that, it shows you exactly who they are. And in my opinion, what I would do in that situation is they would have to go. Okay, I would never tolerate having to put up with somebody else being in my relationship or trying to interfere with that or sharing them for that matter. I don't do things like that. If other people feel like doing that, that's their business. That's cool. If that's the way they live, it's not judging it. It's just not for me. And the same thing here applies. I'm not judging anyone here. I'm just bringing this information to you that you need. So be very aware. Okay, the one of the like I said, one of the indications that this is coming out is one person is feeling slightly guilty, but not much, but mostly afraid of what's going to happen if this comes out. So they're going to approach you, and let you know in secret what's going on because they're going to hope that you will either allow them to continue to stay or forgive them. I mean, personally, I wouldn't accept the apology if somebody close to me was going behind my back and doing things that I didn't like or things to intentionally harm me. Okay, there's no excuse. Everyone's an adult, everyone has their own choices to make. So there's no excuse when someone chooses to get involved with someone else's relationship. We all know better. You know right, you know wrong. Okay, and if you don't, that's a problem. But we have to maintain our self respect, and I hope that who's ever receiving this message as a karmic lesson, okay, is going to learn from this, okay, and realize that the family situation that you're living in is basically not healthy by today's standards. Okay, it's just not. And it has nothing to do, like I said, with tradition. Okay, tradition is one thing. Meeting with each other for the holidays and whatnot. That's tradition. That's cool. Sharing birthdays and lives. That's tradition. But when a family is so tightly meshed, where they know every facet of your business, where they expect you to support everyone else, even to your own detriment, okay, that's not tradition at this point. It's abuse, okay? And it's abuse when an elder expects that the younger generations are there to serve them, okay? So basically, these are narcissistic people, excuse me, narcissists running, the so-called head of the family, okay? Because they have need for control and admiration from what they perceive as underlings, okay? And unfortunately, the underlings get trapped in a perpetual state, excuse me, of Stockholm syndrome. Okay, that's what it is. Where you start identifying with your captor. Okay, but again, we have choices. You don't have to remain in this situation. Now that you received the confirmation to something you already knew. Okay, so I'm not telling anyone something they didn't already know. This is just confirmation, and what you do with it from here on out is your business, your choice. But you have the information. So there should be no more misunderstanding of what's happening. Okay. You received what you needed to receive. Hopefully you'll make the best choice that works out for you. And I wish you all well in whatever the situation might be. Okay. And we're going to leave it at that today. I hope this helps someone. I hope the person who needs to receive it gets it. And I do ask that you just like the video, even if it doesn't apply to you, so that way this video can reach those who it needs to reach. Okay, so I'd really appreciate that. All right. So I want everyone to take care, and we'll see you again hopefully tomorrow. Have a good night.